Hey everyone, if you're looking to upgrade your home audio setup without breaking the bank, you're going to want to see what this R-N1000A network receiver from Yamaha can do. I know what you're thinking, another pricey piece of gear that promises the world but doesn't deliver. But after spending some time with this one, I think it might actually be worth your while. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So, what's the big deal with the R-N1000A? Well, for starters, it's not just another receiver. It's got some serious audio chops packed into a pretty compact box. Yamaha's calling it a hi-fi network receiver, and honestly, it lives up to the name. Whether you're streaming music from Spotify, playing vinyl records, or hooking up your TV for movie nights, this thing handles it all with surprising clarity and depth. I've tested it with everything from high-res audio files to my old vinyl collection, and the difference in sound quality compared to my previous setup is pretty noticeable right away. One of the standout features here is the built-in SABRE ES9080Q Ultra DAC. Now, I know DACs sound like some kind of techno magic, but what it really does is take digital audio signals and convert them into something your speakers can actually play back with better detail and less noise. If you've ever streamed music and felt like something was missing, like the life got sucked out of the sound, this DAC helps bring it back. I tested it with some high-res tracks I've got stored on my NAS, and the difference in dynamics and instrument separation was pretty impressive. It's not going to turn your setup into a $10,000 audiophile rig, but for the price, it's a solid step up from what you'd get with most built-in DACs in cheaper receivers. Another cool feature is the YPAO-R.S.C system. This is Yamaha's room calibration tech, and it's actually pretty handy if you don't want to spend hours tweaking EQ settings yourself. You just place the included microphone where you sit, run the calibration, and the receiver adjusts the sound based on your room's acoustics. I tried it in my living room, which has many hard surfaces that usually make music sound a bit harsh, and the difference was noticeable. Vocals sounded more natural, and the bass wasn't as boomy. It's not perfect, no room correction is, but it's a great starting point if you want better sound without diving into manual settings. If you're a vinyl lover, the phono input is a nice bonus. I've got a decent turntable, and hooking it up to this receiver was seamless. The sound was warm and full, with plenty of detail in the highs and mids. No need for an external phono preamp here, which is a nice cost-saving feature. Just plug in your turntable, and you're good to go. I also tested the HDMI inputs for my TV setup, and the sound quality for movies and shows was crisp and clear. Dialogue was easy to understand, and the surround effects actually felt immersive, which is saying something for a mid-range receiver. The USB DAC function is another highlight, especially if you're into high-res audio. I plugged in a USB drive with some DSD files, and the R-N1000A handled them natively without any issues. The soundstage was wide, and the detail in the high frequencies was really impressive. If you've got a collection of high-res files sitting on a hard drive, this receiver makes it easy to play them back with real quality. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The R-N1000A is a bit on the larger side, so if you're working with a tight space, you might need to double-check the dimensions before buying. Also, while the room correction is helpful, it's not a miracle worker. If your room is super echoey or has weird acoustics, you might still need to do some manual tweaking to get the best sound. And let's be real, no receiver in this price range is going to give you the kind of power and clarity you'd get from a high-end audiophile setup. But for the price, it's a really solid performer. So, who's this receiver for? If you're someone who wants to step up from basic soundbars or cheap receivers but doesn't want to spend a fortune, this is a great option. It's also perfect if you're into vinyl, high-res audio, or just want a reliable setup for movies and music. The build quality feels solid, and the features cover pretty much everything you'd need for a modern home audio setup. If you're on the fence, I'd say give it a shot. It's not going to replace a dedicated audiophile system, but it's a huge improvement over what you'd get from most budget receivers. And if you're already invested in Yamaha's ecosystem, this fits right in. Alright, that's all I've got for this one. If you're curious and want to check it out for yourself, the link is below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.